This video is sponsored in part by Black Forest Gummy Bears.
Please sponsor us.
They're better than other gummy bears.
Well, I don't wanna be on the mic with all these.
The first question you have is, what are you doing here?
I'm Sejal. This is Grayson. And over quarantine, we bought a
High top extended 250 Ford Transit, gently used. It's a 2019, but it's got 12,000 miles.
We'd been talking about building a van for like 2 years, 2.5 years, ever since we went, even before our trip to Utah. We took a trip to Utah, rented an escape van, which I recommend. But we went and did like all the Utah national parks, and we bought, I think we ate PB&Js and s'mores for about 7 days.
Yep.
But ever since then, we were like, we want to build a van. And then quarantine came around and our wedding got canceled.
And we decided we had the money saved up from our canceled wedding to go ahead and invest in the van and in building the van. And we decided that we would build the van ourselves and try our best, just kind of DIY it through YouTube videos.
We always thought like we would do something like this, like, oh, later, we do it later. And we started learning that like later just means you're just postponing all your plans, and we decided this is something we really wanted to do now.
If you're thinking about doing it yourself and you want a series of videos that I will try to film as in depth as possible, every little detail of our build, and explain what I'm doing it and why I'm doing it, so that you can try and recreate it, or you can go watch an actual expert try to do it.
We've seen a lot of designs and I think we have spent a lot of time trying to think about what's important to us and what we're looking for in our van. Like,
yeah, we've watched so many or seen so many different layouts, and it's almost like, there is no right layout, I think, is what we found out. And we had to get the high top. I knew one thing I wanted was to not be hunched over all the time.
Yeah.
So that's why we went with the high top. Decided to put a bathroom, a solid stationary bathroom in it.
Which we went back and forth about, just because a lot of people said like it was a waste and all of this, and kind of like the privacy of having our own bathroom or place to shower.
Because we got the extended van, we looked at our layout and we said, well, you know what, we actually do have this space. So we just took a little bit less countertop and added in the shower. We're going to do a 200 amp hour lithium ion battery setup with 400 watts of solar on the roof. We're going to do an induction stovetop. Hot water. Obviously, if you have a shower, you might as well have hot water. And
I think that's the part we're most nervous about, is the plumbing and the electric, which we could use like really any help on.
yeah.
So if you find this video, we could use some help.
Our van is Florida Van. You can find us on Instagram at FloridaVan_. So make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and like this video so we can get it out to as many people as possible. That way,
we don't need to we just want you to watch. We
no,
just want you to watch it. We're just normal people.
But if you subscribe, you won't have to look us up every time.
Can I say subscribe down below?
I already said subscribe down below.
Click it.
It's over here. What are we doing?
Buying a van.
Where are we going?
I don't know.
To buy a van.
In the middle of Florida.
That's where vans are the cheapest. Middle of nowhere, Florida.
Don't even know what you're supposed to bring to buy a car.
I've never bought a car before.
I've never bought a car before. I have my trusty Toyota Corolla, where the tire pressure light stays on always, so you never know.
I have my trusty Honda Element, where the tire pressure light also always stays on. Driving our future car, possibly. Test drive. See how we like it. So far, smooth sailing. Easy rider.
I like it. We did it We bought a van. Look at us idiots. Thinking we can do van life. We'll see. Bought a van in the middle of bumfuck Florida. There it is. There's my handsome fiance. Still driving home. Drives pretty well. There's no smoke coming out of it just yet. Grayson's still in there. He's been playing around with all the gadgets in the front. So we managed to get the van into the driveway. And it's really hot out, so we've got Bob and Fam keeping things cool inside. Let's see what Grayson's up to back here.
Day one, not even day one, half day. We're gonna start with something simple. Come on around.
And he's already destroying the van.
I need a bigger one. Even bigger one.
Well, I don't wanna be on the mic with all these words that I think are right, and I'm a child of details, and when I pin it, it's heads, not tails. Don't you think I lick my wounds, played this game and played the fools? Don't you think that I say la vie? Easy come and easy go. I'll go high when you go low. Don't you think that I say la vie? Out of sight, the way I look fills me with fright. You flip a coin and it's heads or tails. I'll call it out when I know I failed. Don't you know I lick my wounds, played this game and played the fools? Don't you think that I say la
Rundown. Give them the rundown.
Do you have any examples of this rundown?
No, just a standard rundown.
Get on it. Yeah, I'm working really hard on this rundown.
So Sejal is going to degrease the walls, and we're going to lay down our sound dampeners here all along the surfaces, any surfaces that can vibrate or shake. So ceiling panels, it came with some already on these back panels. For some reason they do the back couple windows or would-be windows, but they don't sound dampen anywhere else. So we're gonna work on that, and I'll try and time lapse it.
Don't you know I lick my wounds, played this game and played the fools? Don't you think that I say la vie? Easy come and easy go. You go high when I go low. And don't you think that I feel alone, cigarettes, drink it down, you'll have regrets, 'cause I'm the one who fell in love with you. Feel alone, cigarettes, drink it down, you'll have regrets, 'cause I'm the one who fell in love with you. Don't you think I lick my wounds, feel my head above my shoes? Don't you know that I say la vie? Easy c'est la vie.
All right, got the lights on. It's getting a little bit dark. Got our sound dampeners mostly installed. We've got a couple left that we're gonna put over the wheel welds after I paint them tomorrow. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. We'll have to give it a test drive to see if we notice any difference.
I
There.
can't hear a thing in here.
Hello. Actually, there's like no echo anymore.
Just like a little bit.
Well, I mean, I feel like it used to reverberate more.
Yeah.
Hello. Huh? It's working.
Yeah, I want to drive it and see how much of a difference there is. I still want to put some more down here.
Yeah, well, like I said, we've got a couple left we're going to use for the wheel welds, and then whatever's left over, we'll just keep covering surfaces as best we can. Didn't get over here. So it's all cut out now to size. So we're back from Home Depot, and Sajal is working on making a cardboard little template for cutting our big pieces of plywood over here. It's a lot easier to get this cardboard to fit perfect and then lay it on the plywood and then make the cuts to the plywood than it is trying to get the plywood in here and size it all out. So that's what we're hopefully going to achieve. I don't think we have enough cardboard, but we're gonna cut it out and then flip it and put it over here because it just needs to be the outline. It doesn't have to cover the center, obviously. And yeah, hopefully we can get this outline done tonight and start cutting some plywood tomorrow. So it's all cut out now to size. As soon as the paint dries on the inside, I'll see if it'll fit. I tried to cut it a little bit big and then just make necessary trims once it's in the van. So I've put on 2 coats of the Rust-Oleum white primer. Now I'm going to throw down a coat of the Rust-Oleum protective enamel, which is just the top surface, gives it the shine and gives it that protection. Really just trying to build up a good seal here from any places where rust could possibly form if there is exposed metal. Got my safety equipment, got my fan gonna be blowing, got all the doors open, so hopefully I don't pass out.
I take 2 steps towards the open field of space for which to lie. There's so much to this life, it sits hard within my mind. You've got to live life better than your parents ever tried. And you sacrifice your time and then you sit back. And I hear you say, God damn, ain't this a beautiful...
So I'm starting to cut some 3/8 inch slats to fill in the gaps. Pretty much right dead even, so that when we lay our insulation on top, it's a nice flat surface, and there won't be any voids. Just to keep the air out from in between the bottom of the car and the insulation, trying to fill up as much as possible and give a good flat surface to work on. So I just made a little jig here, and I'm just cutting the slats as we go.
That makes no sense.
We are working on laying our insulation in. So far it's fitting pretty nice. Gonna make a couple little cuts.
Yeah, so let's make that cut right here.
Okay.
It's hot.
It's so hot. We're working on getting our boards fit. We used the stencil, but it's just a little bit of finagling now. We'll get the jigsaw out here and try to fix that.
But it's about to rain.
Yeah, well, we heard...
Summer afternoon showers.
Yeah, summer afternoon showers are coming. We felt a few drops and we're hearing thunder, so...
Let's, maybe we could just go ahead and put this on this board and then go grab the other board, put it in here, and then move everything inside.
Yeah, we can do that. So continuing on the floor, we got that piece dry fit in really well. This one needed a couple adjustments, so I'm just going to go along and clean up there, so hopefully we can get it fitted in nice and tight. So I got this second board in here. It fits pretty well. It was kind of tough around some of the corners. Had to use the jigsaw to get it more exact. And I just wanted to let people know that the only two tools that I'm really using is the Ryobi handsaw, circular saw, and the Ryobi jigsaw, both of which I bought specifically for this project. Really didn't have any power tools before starting this project. So if you don't have tools and you're kind of scared of it, I know a lot of people starting off, they don't have a giant garage full of woodworking tools, and I definitely didn't either. I'm going to work on getting this last piece of plywood fit, and then I'm going to decide if I want to seal the plywood or not. Well, after lots of cutting and finagling, got the last big board in. Got the seams pretty spot on. Still put something in there to seal them together. Just have one more, well, it'll be two pieces probably, plywood to put here. And then flooring is done. Well, it still has to be pulled out and glued in and then screwed in. So that's next.
And I don't wanna be left out at night when I can't see everything that ain't right. I don't wanna be a rodeo. She'll lasso me up and off we go. And I fell in love with Annalise. She is the only girl who's ever been nice to me. She is my own little personal goat. She'll pick me up and drop me off, write me notes.
So here is the finished product with the subfloor glued down. These suckers aren't going anywhere. So what I have to figure out how to do now is basically copy this stencil onto the top of our flooring here, so that I know where I can drill into, because when I drill through the floor, through the insulation into this, I want to make sure I'm hitting these glued down strips and not going into my metal flooring. So the only way to really do that is to take this entire grid and copy it onto the surface of this. Not really looking forward to doing that. I'll keep you updated. So what I went ahead and decided to do was I found a piece of scrap wood and kind of used that as a stencil, and I just have been taking measurements and then relaying the measurements back down onto the bigger pieces. So I finished this first piece, and I double checked it, and everything lines up really well. So as long as I can keep these lines going, I should be fine. So I'm pretty pleased with how this is coming out. I got the second of the 4 boards in, and what I'm able to do is once I lay it down, I can just double check, as best I can that everything is lining up still. All right, so our foam board is glued down nice and tight. We're going to go around with our foam fill and try to fill the cracks and the edges. And then at the same time, we're going to put foam glue on here and then put the boards on top.
She don't want me writing telegrams. I'll spill our names right here in the sand. She don't wanna be my everything, but she is, she was the best of me. I fell in love with
Sagel's sweeping it up. We cut away the foam we put in, so just so it fills the gaps. Now we're going to seal the seams with a little bit of reflective tape, and then we're going to put our wood on top and drill it in, and then our subfloor will be done.
sometimes. I get frightened by the wind. She'll hold me in a place where I can win within no leave. And I fell in love with Annalise. She is the only girl who's ever been nice to me. And I think she had her rodeo. She circled my wagon, and off we go.